Australia, a land of contrasts and extremes, where ancient landscapes meet modern marvels, and where the untamed wild sits side by side with vibrant cities. The journey across this vast continent begins in the southeast, where the sparkling waters of Sydney Harbour cradle two of the most iconic landmarks in the southern hemisphere. Rising from the edge of Bennelong Point, the Sydney Opera House unfurls its white sails against the sky. This architectural masterpiece, recognized the world over, is more than a performing arts venue. It is a symbol of creativity and resilience. Designed by Danish architect Jorn Utzon, its unique silhouette echoes the waves, shells, and sails that define Sydney's maritime spirit. By day, sunlight dances across its tiled roof. By night, the sails glow in a cascade of lights, reflecting the city's ceaseless energy. The Opera House stands as a testament to Australia's embrace of the new and the bold, a gathering place for music, drama, and celebration. Not far away, another giant stretches its steel arms across the harbour, the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Locals affectionately call it the coat hanger, but its grandeur is undeniable. From its construction in the 1930s, the bridge has been a lifeline for the city, carrying cars, trains, cycles, and pedestrians between north and south. For the adventurous, a bridge climb offers an exhilarating ascent to its summit, where panoramic views sweep from the city skyline to the blue expanse of the Pacific. Below, ferries and yachts crisscross the water, their wakes fanning out beneath the towering arch. Whether seen from above or below, the bridge embodies Sydney's spirit of adventure and connection. Beyond the shadows of these monuments, the rhythm of Australian life pulses along Bondi Beach. Here, golden sands meet the restless surf, and salt-laced breezes mingle with the laughter of swimmers and the calls of surfers paddling out to catch the next wave. Bondi is more than a beach. It is a cultural phenomenon, a place where early morning joggers share the sand with sunbathers, where vibrant street art decorates the Bondi seawall, and where the Bondi iceberg's pool clings to the rocks, filled with swimmers braving the chill. Australia's surf culture is alive in every cresting wave, every sun-bleached board, and every story swapped at the local cafes. Just steps from the city's bustle, the Royal Botanic Gardens Sydney offers a tranquil escape into nature's embrace. Ancient fig trees stretch their roots into the earth. Vibrant beds of native and exotic flowers burst with color, and winding paths lead to hidden corners where cockatoos and kookaburras perch. The gardens are a living museum, home to thousands of plant species and a testament to Australia's rich biodiversity. From Mrs. Macquarie's chair, the city unfurls in a dramatic panorama, with the Opera House and Harbour Bridge framed by the calm of the bay. In this green oasis, the pulse of the city softens, replaced by the gentle rustle of leaves and the scent of blooming wattle. Leaving the city behind, the land rises to meet the ancient Blue Mountains. Here, sheer sandstone cliffs plunge into deep valleys, cloaked in eucalyptus forest. The air carries a blue-tinged haze, the result of oils released by the trees, giving the mountains their evocative name. At Echo Point, the famous Three Sisters stand in silent vigil, their weathered forms the subject of Aboriginal legend and awe-inspiring natural beauty. Waterfalls tumble into hidden gorges, and walking trails wind through lush rainforests, past ferns and wildflowers, while lyrebirds mimic the sounds of the bush. The Blue Mountains offer both grandeur and intimacy, a place where time slows, and the land tells stories older than memory. Traveling southwest, the road leads to Canberra, Australia's purpose-built capital, nestled among rolling hills and shimmering lakes. Designed with symmetry and vision, Canberra is the nation's political heart, where history and progress intertwine. At its center, Parliament House rises from Capitol Hill, its sweeping lawns inviting citizens to walk the very roof of their democracy. The building's modern design, a blend of glass, marble, and Australian timbers, reflects the nation's openness and diversity. Inside, The great hall is adorned with a vast tapestry, and light floods the chambers where laws are debated and history is made. Canberra's wide boulevards are lined with monuments, galleries, and museums, each telling a part of the Australian story. Further south, the cityscape gives way to the creative energy of Melbourne, where laneways pulse with street art, jazz, and the aroma of freshly ground coffee. Melbourne is a tapestry of cultures and ideas, a city defined by its love of art, sport, and good living. In the heart of the city, Federation Square emerges as a bold juxtaposition of architectural forms, its angular facades and open plazas inviting people to gather, celebrate, and connect. Along the Yarra River, cyclists and walkers trace the water's edge, passing theaters, restaurants, and gardens. In the labyrinth of laneways, hidden cafes and galleries await discovery, their walls alive with color and expression. Melbourne is a city that invites exploration, a place where creativity flourishes in every corner. Beyond the city limits, the road unfurls along the coast in a ribbon of asphalt and possibility, the Great Ocean Road. Carved into cliffs overlooking the churning Southern Ocean, this breathtaking drive reveals a landscape shaped by wind and water. Rainforests hug the hillsides, waterfalls tumble through ancient ferns, and beaches stretch for miles beneath towering bluffs. At every turn, the scenery shifts, from tranquil coves to windswept headlands, from sleepy seaside towns to wild stretches where kangaroos graze at dusk. The climax of this journey is the 12 Apostles, a series of limestone stacks rising from the sea like sentinels. Sculpted by relentless waves and winds, these formations stand as monuments to nature's patience and power. As the sun sets, the golden light ignites the cliffs and pillars, casting long shadows across the surf below. The roar of the ocean is a constant, timeless soundtrack, reminding visitors of the enduring forces at work along this dramatic coast. Inland, the Grampians National Park unfolds in rugged splendor, a landscape of soaring peaks, deep gorges, and vibrant wildflowers. Ancient Aboriginal rock art hides in sheltered caves, telling stories of ancestors, animals, and the dreaming. Kangaroos and emus move through open woodlands, while wedge-tailed eagles soar above the ridgelines. The Grampians are a sanctuary for both nature and culture, a place where hikers trace ancient paths and where the land's spiritual significance endures. Heading westward, the city of Adelaide emerges as a gateway to culinary delights and rolling vineyards. Known for its festivals, elegant boulevards, and laid-back charm, Adelaide is also the threshold to the Barossa Valley, Australia's premier wine region. Here, vine-covered hills stretch to the horizon, and cellar doors invite visitors to sample the fruits of generations-old vines. The Barossa is a celebration of abundance. Ripe grapes, artisan cheeses, and handcrafted chocolates found in bustling markets and quiet country lanes. Far from the green embrace of vineyards, the landscape shifts dramatically to the sun-baked expanse of the outback. In the heart of the desert, Coober Pedy lies hidden beneath the surface. Known as the opal capital of the world, this extraordinary town is famous for its underground homes, churches, and shops, dug into the earth to escape the relentless heat. Above ground, a lunar landscape of mounds and shafts tells the story of relentless human ingenuity, while below, cool tunnels offer a unique glimpse into outback life. In Coober Pedy, survival and resourcefulness are a way of life, and the search for precious opals continues beneath the red dust. Southward again, across the waters of the Southern Ocean, lies Kangaroo Island, a haven for wildlife and a testament to nature's resilience. Rugged sea cliffs rise above secluded coves, and dense forests shelter koalas, echidnas, and the island's namesake kangaroos. At Seal Bay, Australian sea lions bask on the sand, while at Flinders Chase National Park, the remarkable rocks stand perched above crashing waves, their shapes worn smooth by centuries of wind and spray. Conservation is at the heart of life on Kangaroo Island, where locals and visitors alike share a deep respect for the fragile balance of land and sea. From the shimmering waters of Sydney Harbour to the stark beauty of the outback, From the creative pulse of Melbourne to the wild shores of Kangaroo Island, Australia's landscapes tell a story of timeless beauty and modern pride. Each landmark, each legendary landscape, is a chapter in a vast and diverse narrative, a celebration of the country's natural wonders, cultural achievements, and enduring spirit. Australia's icons are more than destinations. They are experiences that linger in memory. The salt on your skin after a swim at Bondi, the hush of ancient forests in the Blue Mountains, the taste of Barossa wine shared under a wide sky. They are the stories told by elders in the Grampians, the laughter of friends gathered in Federation Square, the awe of standing before the 12 apostles as the ocean roars at your feet. In this land of extremes, where the old meets the new and the wild meets the civilized, every journey is an invitation to adventure, discovery, and reflection. The icons of Australia are more than places on a map. They are the beating heart of a nation, forever shaped by the land's enduring beauty and the people's boundless pride. And as the sun sets over red earth and rolling surf, the promise of tomorrow's adventures is as limitless as the Australian horizon. In the heart of Australia, nature reigns supreme. This is a land where ancient landscapes tell stories that predate memory, where unique wildlife roams free beneath boundless skies, and where every horizon promises breathtaking wonder. Australia's legendary wilderness is not merely scenery. It is a living, breathing testament to the planet's most extraordinary natural artistry. Towering above the sunburnt plains of the Red Centre stands Uluru, also known as Ayers Rock, a sacred monolith that has endured for over 500 million years. Rising nearly 350 meters above the ochre earth, Uluru's sheer presence is both humbling and awe-inspiring. Its rusty red surface is constantly shifting in color, from a deep ochre at sunrise to a blazing fiery red at sunset. But Uluru is more than just a geological marvel. It is a spiritual heartland, revered by the local Anangu people for millennia. Artwork and ancient legends are etched into its surface, whispering of dreamtime stories and the origins of the land. To stand before Uluru is to feel the pulse of the world's oldest living culture and to witness the raw power of nature's handiwork. Not far from Uluru lie the enigmatic domes of Kata Tjuta, also known as the Olgas. This cluster of 36 massive rounded rock formations rises like sentinels from the desert floor, their surfaces scarred and weathered by eons of wind and rain. Kata Tjuta's valleys and gorges are shrouded in mystery, and walking its trails immerses you in a landscape that feels primordial and untouched. Here, the silence is profound, broken only by the whisper of wind and the distant call of native birds. The Valley of the Wind's Walk leads explorers through rugged terrain, revealing vistas that seem unchanged since the dawn of time. Further along the outback's storied trails, the land cleaves open at Kings Canyon, a natural wonder of towering cliffs and hidden rainforests. The canyon's sheer red walls plunge dramatically into a deep chasm, sheltering prehistoric plants and rare wildlife in its cool, shaded recesses. The Rim Walk offers panoramic views over the endless outback, while the Garden of Eden below is an oasis of tranquility, a lush pocket of life sustained by ancient waters. Walking these trails, you can almost sense the footfalls of the first Australians, who have revered this land for tens of thousands of years. Journeying north, the landscape transforms into the vast and varied expanse of Kakadu National Park, a World Heritage treasure that is both a natural wonder and a living cultural landscape. Kakadu's wetlands teem with life. Saltwater crocodiles bask on muddy banks, jabirus and magpie geese stalk through lily-dotted billabongs, and rainbow-hued kingfishers dart over the water's surface. Here, ancient Aboriginal rock art adorns towering escarpments, recording stories of creation and survival. The park's seasonal rhythms govern all life, as monsoon rains flood the lowlands and transform the savanna into a shimmering sea of green. To explore Kakadu is to step into a world shaped by time and tradition, where every stone and stream holds a story. Nearby, Litchfield National Park offers a different kind of wonder, a landscape sculpted by waterfalls and the ingenious architecture of its tiniest inhabitants. The park's magnetic termite mounds rise from the earth like natural skyscrapers, aligned with geometric precision to minimize the fierce heat of the sun. Cascading waterfalls plunge into crystal-clear pools, their cool waters inviting weary travelers to pause and refresh. Florence Falls and Wangi Falls are favorites for swimming and picnicking, while hidden paths lead to tranquil spots where the only sounds are chirping frogs and rustling leaves. Venture further south to Nitmaluk National Park, where the Catherine River carves a series of majestic gorges through ancient sandstone. Nitmaluk, known as Catherine Gorge, is best experienced from the water, by canoe or boat, drifting through towering cliffs that glow gold in the afternoon light. The river winds past sandy beaches and lush pockets of monsoon rainforest, while above, rock wallabies and cockatoos make their homes among the ledges. Aboriginal custodians still walk these lands, sharing stories of their ancestors and the spirits that shaped the gorges long ago. The northern wilderness gives way to the lush, ancient embrace of the Daintree rainforest, believed to be the oldest tropical rainforest on Earth. Here, every leaf and vine is a living relic, a survivor of a world that existed when dinosaurs roamed the land. The Daintree pulses with life. Electric blue Ulysses butterflies flutter among the shadows, cassowaries stride through the undergrowth, and tree kangaroos perch in the canopy high above. The air is thick with the scent of wet earth and the sound of unseen creatures. Walking through this emerald labyrinth, you might spot a platypus gliding through a stream or glimpse the rare southern cassowary, its helmeted head bobbing through the foliage. The Daintree's magic culminates at Cape Tribulation, a place where two World Heritage wonders collide. The rainforest meets the Great Barrier Reef. At this remote headland, ancient jungle spills onto palm-fringed beaches, and the coral sea stretches to the horizon. Mangrove forests tangle at the water's edge, and the air is alive with the calls of parrots and the whisper of the tide. It is a place that feels impossibly wild, where the timelessness of the rainforest merges with the vibrant life of the reefs. Inland, the Atherton tablelands rise in a patchwork of green, the highlands of Queensland, where waterfalls tumble from volcanic cliffs and crater lakes nestle among rolling hills. Here, the land is cool and fertile, home to fields of tropical fruit, ancient fig trees, and curious wildlife. The tablelands' waterfalls are legendary. Mila Mila Falls, with its perfect curtain of water, the tiered cascades of Zili and Elinja, the volcanic crater lakes, Acom and Barine, are tranquil oases, their still waters reflecting the sky. In the forests, tree kangaroos leap through the branches, and at dusk, platypuses emerge to hunt along the banks. Far to the south, across the Bass Strait, Tasmania's wilderness beckons, a realm of dense forests, craggy peaks, and crystal-clear lakes. Much of the island remains untouched, preserved in vast national parks where nature dominates. In these wild places, ancient pines grow tall, their roots tangled in mossy earth, and rivers carve deep gorges through rugged mountains. The air is crisp and clean, scented with eucalyptus and leatherwood blossom, and the silence is broken only by the calls of currawongs and the rustle of wallabies in the undergrowth. At the heart of Tasmania lies Cradle Mountain Lake St. Clair National Park, a hiker's paradise of glacial lakes, alpine moors, and sculpted peaks. Cradle Mountain's jagged silhouette rises above Dove Lake, its slopes dusted with snow much of the year. Walking the Overland Track, a world-famous trail, leads adventurers through ancient forests, across button-grass plains, and past waterfalls that plunge into dark, still pools. The park's wildlife is just as captivating. Wombats graze in open meadows, echidnas forage along the trails, and, with luck, the elusive Tasmanian devil can be spotted at dusk. To the east, Freycinet National Park dazzles with its pink granite mountains and the perfect curve of Wineglass Bay. The Hazards, a range of rosy-hued peaks, rise above turquoise waters and white sand beaches. The views from the Wineglass Bay Lookout are among the most iconic in Australia, a sweep of blue and green hemmed by forest and stone. The peninsula is a haven for wildlife. Sea eagles wheel overhead, dolphins play in the surf, and wallabies graze among the dunes. On the mainland, the Australian Alps stand as the continent's cool, snow-capped backbone. Stretching across Victoria, New South Wales, and the ACT, these mountains are home to the nation's highest peaks and its only true alpine environments. In winter, the slopes are blanketed with snow, drawing skiers and snowboarders from around the world. In summer, wildflowers carpet the meadows, and hiking trails wind through snow-gum woodlands and past crystal-clear streams. The air is crisp and invigorating, carrying the scent of alpine herbs and the sound of bellbirds. Running the length of eastern Australia, the Great Dividing Range is the continent's longest mountain chain, a rugged spine that shapes the land and climate of an entire nation. From the lush rainforests of Queensland to the windswept peaks of Victoria, the range shelters countless habitats and species found nowhere else on Earth. It is a land of contrasts, where misty valleys cradle ancient forests and sunlit ridges offer sweeping views over endless plains. No journey through Australia's natural wonders would be complete without meeting its iconic wildlife, creatures as unique and remarkable as the land they inhabit. Kangaroos bound across open grasslands, their powerful legs propelling them effortlessly over the earth. Koalas doze in the forks of eucalyptus trees, contentedly munching on leaves. Emus, the world's second-largest birds, stalk through open scrublands with stately grace, while wombats, sturdy and determined, dig their burrows in the cool shade of the bush. Among the waterways, the shy platypus swims with quiet grace, its duckbill and webbed feet a reminder of evolution's playful creativity. In the forests, possums and gliders leap from branch to branch, and the peculiar calls of kookaburras echo through the trees. Australia's wildlife is not just a collection of animals, but an essential part of the continent's living tapestry, a testament to adaptation, resilience, and the enduring power of nature. Everywhere you go in Australia, from the red deserts of the interior to the rainforests of the north and the snowy peaks of the south, nature's presence is overwhelming. These are landscapes shaped by ancient forces, where the rhythms of the earth still set the pace of life. Aboriginal heritage runs deep, with stories and wisdom etched into every stone and riverbank. The wild places of Australia are not relics of the past. They are vibrant, living worlds, home to a dazzling array of plants and animals found nowhere else. Here, the land commands respect and awe. It challenges, inspires, and rewards all who venture into its embrace. Whether you stand before the sacred monolith of Uluru, paddle through the gorges of Nitmiluk, or lose yourself in the emerald depths of the Daintree, you are reminded that this is a continent where nature still rules, a place where the ancient and the wild endure, and where every journey is an adventure waiting to unfold. Australia's marine wonders stretch across a continent, weaving a tapestry of color and life found nowhere else on Earth. Here, the oceans meet the land in spectacular fashion, sculpting a coastline that offers adventure, beauty, and encounters with creatures both strange and sublime. From the world-famous Great Barrier Reef to the hidden coves of the West, Australia's reefs, islands, and coastal beauty define the spirit of a country shaped by water. It begins with an icon, the Great Barrier Reef, the largest coral system on the planet, so vast and vibrant that it can be seen from space. Stretching for more than 2,300 kilometers along Queensland's coast, the reef is a living mosaic, an underwater city where tiny coral polyps build towers and walls that teem with life. Here, the sea blazes with the colors of parrotfish and angelfish. Sea turtles glide silently through gardens of anemone, and sleek reef sharks patrol the crystal corridors. The Great Barrier Reef is not just a destination, it's an experience of immersion, a place where you become part of the heartbeat of the oceans. The journey into this watery wilderness often begins in the tropical towns of Cairns and Port Douglas, gateways to the reef's wonders. From these vibrant hubs, boats set out daily to the outer reef, carrying eager snorkelers and divers into an alien world. Beneath the surface, sunlight dances through turquoise water, illuminating forests of coral that sway in the current. You float above vibrant clusters of staghorn, brain, and mushroom coral, watching schools of clownfish dart among the branches while a giant clam yawns open, revealing iridescent blues and greens. Every dive or snorkel here is a journey into the unknown, where the next moment might bring face-to-face encounters with a majestic manta ray or the gentle, curious gaze of a green sea turtle. The reef's pulse is constant, a reminder of the delicate balance that sustains this astonishing diversity. Sailing south from the reef, the coastline unfurls into the Whitsunday Islands, a constellation of 74 islands scattered like emeralds across the coral sea. Here, adventure and serenity collide, where white sails billow in the trade winds and yachts drift into secluded bays. The islands are fringed with coral reefs and laced with walking trails through ancient rainforest. At the heart of it all lies Whitehaven Beach, a stretch of silica sand so pure and fine that it squeaks beneath your feet. The sand here is dazzling white, a stark contrast to the swirling turquoise waters that shape the shoreline into mesmerizing patterns. The experience is one of utter tranquility, a place where time seems to slow, and every sense is heightened by the purity of the landscape. Whether you arrive by boat, helicopter, or seaplane, Whitehaven Beach is a vision of perfection, a reminder of nature's artistry at its most sublime. Beyond the islands, the coast takes a wild and rugged turn at Fraser Island, known by its traditional name, Kagari, meaning paradise. Recognized as the world's largest sand island, Kagari is a marvel of contradictions. Here, towering sand dunes rise above patches of ancient rainforest, and crystal-clear lakes shimmer in the sun. The island's freshwater lakes, such as Lake Mackenzie, are ringed with powdery white sand and surrounded by dense bushland, creating an oasis of peace and natural beauty. Four-wheel drives bounce along the beach highway, past rusted shipwrecks and wild dingoes, while giant ferns and orchids thrive in the shade of the rainforest. On Kagari, the boundary between land and sea blurs, and every turn reveals a new facet of this extraordinary ecosystem. Further south, Moreton Island emerges as another jewel in Queensland's crown, a haven for those seeking both relaxation and adventure. The island's most famous attraction is the Tangalooma Wrecks, a cluster of sunken ships that have become a vibrant artificial reef. Here, snorkelers glide through schools of shimmering fish, past corals that have colonized the rusted hulls. Above the waterline, the island's towering sand dunes call to thrill-seekers who climb and then race down the slopes on sandboards, laughter echoing in the salty air. Moreton Island's sense of play and wonder is infectious, a place where every hour brings a new discovery. Turning to the south, the Gold Coast rises from the horizon, a shimmering strip of high-rises and golden beaches. Surfer's Paradise lives up to its name, where rolling waves attract board riders from across the world. The skyline sparkles by day and night, reflecting the city's energy and excitement. Here, adventure takes many forms, surfing the famous breaks, exploring the lush hinterland rainforests, or seeking thrills in world-class theme parks. The Gold Coast is a celebration of the Australian love for sun, sea, and the great outdoors, where life is lived with a sense of fun and endless possibility. In contrast, the Sunshine Coast offers a more relaxed rhythm. Stretching from Caloundra to Noosa, this region is home to laid-back beach towns, artisan markets, and a subtropical hinterland of rolling hills and rainforests. The beaches here are golden and uncrowded, perfect for a morning swim or an afternoon stroll. Inland, the Glasshouse Mountains rise dramatically, offering hiking trails that reward with sweeping views of the coastline. The Sunshine Coast is a place to unwind, to reconnect with nature and community, and to savor the simple pleasures of beachside living. Venturing further south, Byron Bay beckons with its unique blend of bohemian spirit and natural beauty. This is a place where barefoot surfers mingle with artists, musicians, and travelers from around the world. The iconic lighthouse stands sentinel over Cape Byron, the easternmost point of the Australian mainland, and at sunrise, the sky blazes with color as whales breach offshore. Byron's beaches are legendary, long sweeps of sand framed by lush headlands, where dolphins surf alongside humans and the rhythm of the waves sets the pace of life. The town's cafes and markets pulse with creativity, while the hinterland is dotted with hidden waterfalls and quiet retreats. Byron Bay is more than a destination. It's a state of mind, a place where freedom and self-expression are as natural as the tides. Crossing the continent, the story continues on Rottnest Island, a short ferry ride from Perth. Here, the Indian Ocean sparkles in shades of blue, and secluded bays invite lazy days of swimming and snorkeling. Rottnest is famous as the home of the quokka, a small marsupial whose perpetual smile has earned it the title of the world's happiest animal. Cyclists pedal along car-free roads, discovering hidden beaches and salt lakes, while the quokkas hop through the undergrowth, curious and unafraid. The island's laid-back charm and abundant wildlife make it a favorite escape for locals and visitors alike. Back on the mainland, Perth's coastline stretches north and south, a ribbon of white sand kissed by the warm waters of the Indian Ocean. Beach after beach offers something unique: Cottesloe's sunsets, Scarborough's surf breaks, and City Beach's relaxed atmosphere. On summer evenings, the sky turns gold and crimson, and locals gather for picnics, swimming, and the simple joy of watching the sun sink below the horizon. The Perth coast is a celebration of outdoor living, where the beach is not just a destination, but a way of life. Further south, the coastline grows wilder, culminating in the pristine shores of Esperance and Lucky Bay. Here, powdery white sand stretches for kilometers, meeting water so clear and blue it seems unreal. Kangaroos lounge on the beach, basking in the sun or hopping along the shoreline, a sight that captures the whimsy and wonder of Australia's natural world. Offshore, granite islands rise from the sea, home to sea lions and seabirds, while inland, wildflowers blanket the landscape in a riot of color each spring. Esperance is a place to find solitude and awe, where nature's beauty is unspoiled and ever-present. Turning north along the edge of the continent, the Ningaloo Reef awaits, a hidden treasure of Western Australia. Unlike the Great Barrier Reef, Ningaloo lies close to the shore, allowing for easy access to its wonders. Here, the reef is famous for its most extraordinary resident, the whale shark, the world's largest fish. Each year, these gentle giants migrate through the warm waters, and swimmers have the rare chance to glide alongside them, marveling at their size and grace. The reef itself is a tapestry of coral gardens, home to turtles, manta rays, and countless tropical fish. Ningaloo is a place of immersion, where the line between adventure and reverence disappears. Far to the north, the red sands of Broom's Cable Beach meet the turquoise of the Timor Sea. Here, the sunsets are legendary, fiery displays that paint the sky in shades of orange and purple. The beach stretches for 22 kilometers, its flat expanse perfect for long walks or a unique experience, riding atop a camel as the sun dips toward the horizon. The contrast of red earth and blue sea is breathtaking, a reminder of the elemental forces that shape Australia's north. Cable Beach is a frontier, a place where ancient landscapes meet the modern world in spectacular fashion. Deeper into the Kimberley wilderness, nature reveals one of its greatest shows of power at the horizontal falls. Here, the immense tides of the Kimberley coast surge through narrow gorges, creating waterfalls that run horizontally, a phenomenon found nowhere else on Earth. The roar of the water, the rush of air, and the wild, untouched beauty of the surrounding landscape make this a bucket list adventure. The Kimberley is ancient, remote, and utterly captivating, a land where stories of the dreamtime still resonate and the pulse of nature beats strong. From the coral gardens of the Great Barrier Reef to the red sands of Broome, from the tranquil sands of Whitehaven Beach to the playful quokkas of Rottnest Island, Australia's coasts are a celebration of life in all its forms. Here, the boundary between land and sea is ever-changing, a place of constant renewal and discovery. The reefs are alive with color and movement. The islands offer sanctuary and adventure. The beaches invite both contemplation and excitement. Every stretch of coastline tells a story, of ancient cultures and modern explorers, of fragile ecosystems and enduring beauty. It is a place where the adventurous spirit finds a home, where each sunrise promises new wonders, and every sunset marks a day well lived. Whether you seek the thrill of diving with whale sharks, the serenity of a deserted beach, or the simple joy of watching a kangaroo sunbathing on the sand, Australia's marine and coastal wonders offer a playground shaped by nature's hand. In the end, the journey along Australia's shores is not just about the places you visit, but the memories you create. The laughter shared on a sailing boat, the awe felt beneath the waves, the peace found in a quiet cove. From reef to beach, from island to mainland, Australia's coasts are a testament to the wild, beautiful, and boundless heart of a land defined by water. Here, nature's playground awaits, inviting all to explore, to dream, and to marvel at the wonders that lie where the land meets the sea. Australia's story begins long before the first settlers, explorers, or gold rushes. It starts with the world's oldest living cultures, Australia's First Nations peoples, whose deep connection to the land stretches back more than 65,000 years. To truly understand modern Australia, we must honor the custodians of this land, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. Their wisdom, resilience, and storytelling continue to shape the heart and soul of the nation. Across the continent, the dream time, known as the dreaming, forms the spiritual bedrock of indigenous culture. These ancient creation stories have been carefully passed down through countless generations, not through written word, but through spoken tales, song, dance, art, and ceremony. The dreaming explains how the land, animals, plants, and people came to be. It's a tapestry of stories where ancestral beings shaped rivers, mountains, and deserts, breathing life into every corner of the country. The rainbow serpent, for example, is a powerful figure in many traditions, carving out rivers and leaving sacred sites in her wake. Each nation, each clan, holds unique stories, woven into the landscape itself. Step into the top end, and you'll find some of the most evocative signs of this living heritage at Ubir and Nourlangie. These ancient rock art galleries, nestled within the rugged escarpments of Kakadu National Park, are more than just beautiful paintings. They are outdoor storybooks, recording thousands of years of history, ceremony, and daily life. Ochre figures shimmer on the stone, depicting the creation ancestors, animals, and even early encounters with outsiders. The hands that painted these walls belong to people whose descendants are still here, still caring for country, still telling stories. Today, Aboriginal culture centers across Australia serve as bridges between the past and the present. These centers are places of learning, healing, and sharing, where visitors can listen to elders speak of the dreaming, join workshops in traditional crafts, or taste bush tucker prepared with age-old knowledge. Here, you might learn to paint using symbols that convey a whole story in a single image, or hear the haunting call of a didgeridoo echoing through eucalyptus trees. The boomerang and didgeridoo are more than souvenirs. They are powerful symbols of ingenuity and tradition. The boomerang, once a hunting tool and a means of storytelling, showcases the deep understanding of aerodynamics that Aboriginal people possessed. The didgeridoo, carved from termite-hollowed wood, is an instrument whose deep, resonant tones are believed to carry messages between the earthly and spiritual worlds. In the hands of a skilled musician, its sound is mesmerizing, a living link to ancient ceremonies. Indigenous-led eco-tours are becoming increasingly popular for those who want to walk gently on this land and learn with respect. These experiences, guided by traditional owners, offer a chance to see the bush through indigenous eyes. You might learn how to spot medicinal plants, track animals, or interpret the subtle signs of the seasons. Each step is an invitation to connect with country in a way that goes beyond sightseeing. It's about understanding, respect, and reciprocity. National Reconciliation Week is a time when Australians from all walks of life come together to reflect on shared histories and work towards a future built on mutual respect. Through art, music, community events, and education, this week is a powerful reminder of the importance of acknowledging the past, celebrating cultural diversity, and striving for justice and equality. It's a time to listen, learn, and walk forward together. But Australia's story is not just ancient, it is also wonderfully multicultural. From the gold rushes of the 19th century, which brought people from China, Europe, and the Pacific Islands, to waves of migration from Italy, Greece, Vietnam, Lebanon, India, and beyond, Australia has been built by many cultures. Today, more than a quarter of Australians were born overseas, and nearly half have at least one parent born abroad. In every city, you'll find neighborhoods alive with the scents, sounds, and celebrations of the world. Greek festivals in Melbourne, Lunar New Year in Sydney, Diwali in Brisbane, Ramadan in Perth. This rich tapestry is woven into the national identity. Of course, there is something uniquely Australian about the way people speak and live. Aussie slang is a language of its own, full of playful twists and laid-back charm. You might hear friends greet each other with a cheerful "G'day, mate," or chat about heading to the barbecue on the weekend. Thongs here aren't what you might think. They're flip-flops, the essential footwear for sandy beaches and backyard gatherings. Mateship, the unspoken bond of loyalty, equality, and helping each other out, is a cornerstone of the Australian psyche, born from the hardships of the bush and the camaraderie of shared challenges. Life in Australia moves at its own relaxed pace, but don't mistake easygoing for lazy. Australians are passionate about their sport, a love affair that cuts across age, background, and geography. Cricket is a summer ritual, played in backyards, parks, and the hallowed grounds of the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Australian rules football, or AFL, is a spectacle of athleticism, skill, and tribal devotion, especially in Victoria and South Australia. Rugby, both league and union, fires up crowds in New South Wales and Queensland, while surfing is more than a sport. It's a way of life, with generations of board riders carving through the waves from Bondi to Bells Beach. Tennis, too, has its place, with the Australian Open drawing the world's best to Melbourne every January. Food in Australia is a journey in itself, shaped by indigenous traditions, migrant flavors, and local innovation. Bush tucker, native foods like wattle seed, finger lime, kangaroo, and macadamia nuts, has been a staple for thousands of years and is now celebrated in fine dining and home kitchens alike. The coastline delivers a bounty of seafood: Sydney rock oysters, Moreton Bay bugs, barramundi, and prawns grilled on the barbie. The humble meat pie found at every bakery and sporting event is a national icon. And thanks to waves of immigration, you'll find Italian espresso bars, Vietnamese pho houses, Lebanese bakeries, Japanese izakayas, and Ethiopian injera restaurants, all thriving in the same city. Coffee is more than a drink in Australia. It's a culture, an obsession, and a daily ritual. The flat white, with its creamy microfoam, might be Australia's greatest gift to the global coffee scene. In the laneways of Melbourne, hidden cafes serve up single-origin brews to discerning locals, while brunch, smashed avo on sourdough anyone, has become a weekend institution. People linger over their coffee, catching up with friends or reading the paper, savoring the moment. Australia's cities pulse with creativity and color. In Melbourne, the laneways are canvases for street artists, their works ever-changing and alive with social commentary, humor, and bursts of imagination. Sydney comes alive each winter with the Vivid Festival, transforming the harbour into a dazzling playground of light, music, and ideas. Artists, musicians, designers, and filmmakers from every background contribute to a vibrant cultural scene that's as bold as the outback sun. Festivals, big and small, are at the heart of community life. The Dreaming Festival celebrates Indigenous art, dance, and storytelling, bringing together First Nations people from across the country. Sydney's Mardi Gras is a riot of color and pride, one of the world's great LGBTQ+ celebrations. Writers' festivals, food and wine fairs, music gatherings, and multicultural parades fill the calendar, each one a chance to connect, celebrate, and share in the joy of diversity. Australian humor is something special, dry, irreverent, and full of heart. It's a humor that laughs at adversity, pokes fun at authority, and finds joy in the everyday. The iconic larrikin spirit is alive and well, from the classic antics of Crocodile Dundee to the quick wit of comedians like Hannah Gadsby. It's humor that brings people together, diffuses tension, and reminds us not to take ourselves too seriously. Yet beneath the lightness and laughter, there is a deep commitment to sustainability and innovation. With abundant sunshine and vast landscapes, Australia is a leader in solar power and renewable energy. Wildlife rescue groups work tirelessly to protect threatened species, from koalas to sea turtles. Eco-lodges and sustainable tourism initiatives invite visitors to experience the land with respect. Farmers, scientists, and entrepreneurs are pioneering new ways to care for the environment and build a more resilient future. As we reflect on all these threads, ancient and modern, local and global, playful and profound, it becomes clear that the greatest wonder of Australia is not a place, a landmark, or a festival. It is the people and their stories. From the wisdom of First Nations elders to the hopes of new arrivals, from the laughter around a backyard barbecue to the cheers in a packed stadium, from the quiet creativity of an artist in a city lane to the determination of a bush firefighter, Australia's true magic lies in its community, its diversity, and its unbreakable spirit. To honor Australia is to honor its people, those who have cared for this land since time immemorial, those who came seeking new beginnings, and those who continue to dream, create, and share. Their stories are the living heart of the nation, a heart that beats with courage, compassion, and endless possibility.